The American Juvenile Justice System is the primary system used to assist in the rehabilitation of adolescents convicted of criminal offenses. Nearly 60,000 adolescents under the age of 18 are incarcerated. There are multiple factors that can increase the risk of incarceration for youth, which include race and poverty. Schools have employed some strategies that are counter-effective and unfair, including the increased employment of school resource officers, which may overuse disciplinary measures like enacting suspensions to punish youth and keep them out of school, zero-tolerance policies that lead to expulsions, and the school atmosphere itself. Racial disparities in juvenile justice are glaring. According to nationwide data collected, Black youth are held in juvenile detention at a rate of 4 times that of white youth. Even though Black adolescents account for 15% of youth in the United States, 41% of youth detained in juvenile facilities are Black. Racial disparity must be acknowledged and remediated. Poverty plays a role in the juvenile justice system through a cycle of economic punishments. If a youth is brought into the juvenile justice system, the costs incurred for attorneys, fines, and fees keep his family in the constant state of poverty. Youths often offend to provide themselves with basic necessities like food and clothing. Putting positive preventative policies into play like community centers, mentors, and counselors who can guide youth for assistance would be beneficial. When youth are placed in a juvenile detention center, they are at risk of physical, psychological, sexual abuse, suicide, and lack of appropriate education. The facilities are often overcrowded without adequate staff. Rather than focusing on rehabilitation, these facilities often focus on punishment. Juveniles are placed in solitary confinement where they are deprived of interaction with others and mental stimulation. This is detrimental to the youth brain development at a critical stage. Research shows that youth who have been abused or neglected at age 5 or earlier have a much greater risk of being arrested for a variety of offenses. They also have lower high school graduation rates and are more likely to be fired from a job. Hiring more counselors for schools so that students have more access to help is one solution. Another is to provide more community services to families and youth. In the school arena, there are a variety of strategies that can alleviate youth arrests and incarceration. One of these strategies is to remove school resource officers. Often, students are arrested and charged with low-level offenses. These offenses could be addressed more appropriately by counselors or a school mental health team. Eliminating zero-tolerance policies and expelling only students with very serious infractions is another way that schools can help cut down on youth incarceration. The school atmosphere is important to engaging students so that they don't feel disenfranchised and alone or isolated. This can be accomplished by establishing school-wide social-emotional learning programs, establishing enrichment activities, and an inclusive community environment. The high rate of youth incarceration, especially youth of color, is a serious societal issue. There are methods and strategies to address this issue and to ameliorate it. Economically and socially, it makes sense to examine our system of incarcerating youth and to make a conscientious effort to implement improvements.